Mike Tyson, I've never seen anybody better. I've never seen any fighter, even Ali in his prime, even Ali when he was Cassius Clay.
Mike Tyson is widely regarded as one of the greatest boxers of all time, and for good reason. Even during his prime, when he was unstoppable, no other fighter, not even Muhammad Ali, could compare to the sheer power and ferocity Tyson brought to the ring. Joe Rogan, a longtime commentator and fan of combat sports, once said, "I've never seen anybody better. I've never seen any fighter, even Ali in his prime, who looked like Mike Tyson in his prime. Tyson's ability to dominate his opponents with incredible speed, power, and technique was unparalleled." But as Rogan and others have pointed out, maintaining the focus and intensity required to stay at that level is almost impossible, especially as age and time take their toll. Now, the boxing world is abuzz with speculation about an upcoming fight between Mike Tyson and YouTuber-turned-boxer Jake Paul. Rogan himself recently discussed leaked footage of the two sparring, which has only fueled the hype surrounding this bout. However, not everyone is thrilled about the prospect of Tyson stepping back into the ring, especially against a younger, stronger opponent like Paul. Former middleweight world champion Carl Froch, for instance, has been vocal in his criticism of the match, expressing concerns about Tyson's health and the fairness of the fight. Froch, who has been known for his candid opinions, didn't hold back in a recent interview. "Tyson is too old to be in the ring," he stated bluntly, before turning his attention to Jake Paul. Froch accused Paul of being annoying and criticized him for fighting opponents who are significantly lighter than him. "My only beef with Jake Paul is that he can't really fight," Froch said. "He's not a professional boxer. He's not even in shape. He looks fleshy. He's got a layer over him, and I don't know if he takes the training seriously." Froch's comments highlight the skepticism that many in the boxing community feel about Paul's legitimacy as a fighter, despite his growing record of wins. One of Froch's main concerns is the weight disparity between Tyson and Paul. While Tyson, a former heavyweight champion, has fought at around 220 pounds, Paul has mostly fought as a cruiserweight at around 200 pounds. Despite this, Paul has allegedly been bulking up to 240 pounds in preparation for the fight, which Froch believes gives him an unfair advantage. Paul has got a 2 or 3 stone weight advantage on these guys he's fought so far. It's a mismatch, Froch said. "It's unfair. He's got such an advantage." Tyson, who last fought professionally in 2005, has had his share of struggles outside the ring. After his final fight, Tyson admitted that he had lost his fighting spirit and his savagery. The 58-year-old former champion has also battled various health issues, including a recent ulcer flare-up that forced him to postpone the originally scheduled July fight with Paul. Despite these challenges, Tyson is determined to make his comeback, and fans are eager to see how he will fare against a much younger opponent. George Foreman, another legendary heavyweight who made a successful comeback at the age of 45, has weighed in on the upcoming fight. When asked if Tyson could still drop and stop Paul even at his advanced age, Foreman was cautious but optimistic. Jake Paul is no pushover, and he's not afraid of any of these guys. "Time is on his side," Foreman said. "So happy for Mike Tyson, he needed this excitement in his life." However, Foreman also offered a word of warning to Tyson, urging him to be careful and not underestimate Paul. "Be careful with Paul only because Paul has tricks," Foreman cautioned. Tyson gets hit with one punch at his age, you start to hear funny noises. The fight, scheduled for later in 2024, will be an 8-round bout with 2-minute rounds, a first for the sport. Both fighters will wear 16-ounce gloves, a concession made to reduce the risk of serious injury. However, this has not quelled concerns about Tyson's health. Anthony Taylor, a sparring partner for Paul and a former rival of Tommy Fury, has also voiced his worries about the fight. Taylor, who has been working with Paul since the beginning of his boxing journey, believes that Tyson is walking into a lamb-to-the-slaughter scenario. "I've worked with Jake behind the scenes, and trust me, you haven't seen what he's capable of," Taylor said. "Tyson is a lamb to a slaughter. I worry about a concussive ending because Jake is a real fighter now." Tyson's recent health scare and limited training due to his ulcer have only added to the concerns. Although he has gradually ramped up his preparations, the 58-year-old will face an opponent in peak physical condition. Paul, who has amassed 11 wins, including a victory over Mike Perry, is not someone to be taken lightly. Taylor further warned that if Tyson tires during the fight, Paul will make him pay. Jake's cardio is next level, Taylor added. Even though Tyson's extensive experience and powerful punches made him a formidable opponent in his prime, age and the long hiatus from professional fighting are major factors. Paul, on the other hand, has been actively fighting and improving his skills. He has declared that he will deliver a decisive blow to Tyson, asserting that his strength is on par with the legendary puncher. "I know I will be able to," Paul said. "I'm a natural-born heavyweight. This is what I was born to do, move up into this weight class and show Mike who has more power because he's underestimating me." Despite Paul's confidence, he also admitted that he is scared, but that fear won't stop him. "I know it's going to be tough. I know I'm going to have to fight through adversity. I know I might even go to the canvas. I'm scared, don't get me wrong, but it's not about the fear stopping me. It's about going into it even though I am scared. That is what true bravery is." Tom Aspinall, a rising star in the UFC, has also weighed in on the Tyson-Paul fight, offering a unique perspective. Fresh off his victory over Curtis Blades at UFC 304, Aspinall has turned his attention to the controversial boxer. While Carl Froch expressed interest in a potential match with Paul, Aspinall offered a different take. "If you want my honest opinion, I think you are above that," Aspinall told Froch. "I don't think you should fight Jake Paul." Aspinall's comments highlight the divide in opinions about Paul's legitimacy as a boxer. While some, like Froch, see the potential for a lucrative payday, others, like Aspinall, believe that fighting Paul is beneath a true champion. Aspinall also warned Tyson about the risks involved in fighting Paul, especially given the significant age gap and Tyson's recent health issues. "At 58, Mike's age is something I'm thinking about," Aspinall said. "I think Jake gets that." Despite the concerns, Tyson remains unfazed. In a recent interview, Tyson opened up about the unrelenting advice from friends and family to avoid the fight, but he dismissed their concerns. "I'm a glory junkie," Tyson said. "I love people thinking about me all day. I'd rather live a short life of glory than a long life of obscurity. It's just who I am." Joe Rogan, who has been closely following the developments, has also expressed his concerns about the fight. He pointed out that if Tyson were to suffer a serious injury or worse, it could spell the end of this kind of boxing experiment. "Crazy if Tyson dies, right?" "Oh my God," Rogan said, highlighting the potential risks. However, Rogan also acknowledged that if Tyson could regain even 70% of his former capabilities, it would pose a significant challenge for Paul. The fight between Tyson and Paul is not just about physical abilities, it's also about mindset. Tyson, who has been known for his intense focus, has been preparing for the fight with the same dedication that made him a legend. In an interview, Tyson mentioned that he was eating raw meat as part of his preparation, metaphorically referring to his opponents as raw meat. Rogan, who discussed this on his podcast, described Tyson as being in God of War mode, suggesting that Paul would be facing a formidable opponent. Tyson's presence alone is enough to intimidate anyone, as Rogan recounted when he had Tyson on his podcast. Rogan was so nervous during Tyson's second appearance that he even resized the podcast table to maintain some distance. "If this table was closer to him, I would be nervous," Rogan admitted. "He's terrifying when he's in the zone." As the fight draws closer, the anticipation continues to build. The leaked